How does a man from a humble background build a fashion empire worth billions? This is the incredible story of Stefano Gabbana, the co-founder of Dolce & Gabbana. Born in Milan in 1962, Stefano's early life was far from the glamour he would later create. His father worked in a printing factory, and his mother ironed laundry for a living. Growing up, young Stefano wasn't a stellar student. He was more interested in playing than studying. He once described himself as a naughty boy who loved having fun, and this playful, creative spirit would later define his iconic designs. After finishing school, he took a different path than most, deciding to study graphic design at a Milanese art college. However, he soon realized his true passion wasn't in creating logos or posters, but in fashion. He dropped out after just 1 year, driven by a powerful desire to make his mark on the world of style. Life after dropping out wasn't easy. Stefano found himself working as a freelance designer, taking on small, often unfulfilling jobs just to make ends meet. He did everything from designing for other brands to working as a cleaning assistant. It was a period of struggle and uncertainty, but it was also a crucial time of learning and honing his craft. His big break, though he didn't know it at the time, came in 1980. He was working as a design assistant at a fashion house in Milan when he met a young man from Sicily named Domenico Dolce. Domenico was quiet and reserved, the complete opposite of the outgoing and boisterous Stefano. Domenico came from a family with a tailoring background. His father owned a small clothing business, and he had been cutting and sewing fabric since he was a child. Despite their different personalities, they shared an immense passion for fashion and an incredible creative chemistry. Stefano was impressed by Domenico's technical skills, while Domenico was drawn to Stefano's bold artistic vision. They quickly became inseparable, both professionally and personally. After Domenico finished his military service, the two decided to take a leap of faith. In 1982, with a small amount of money saved up, they opened a tiny design studio in Milan. It was a humble beginning. They worked out of a one-room apartment, with Stefano often handling the administrative tasks and public relations, while Domenico focused on the tailoring and pattern making. They were so short on cash that they often had to eat at the cheapest restaurants and work late into the night, fueled by little more than passion and coffee. Their big vision was to create a new kind of fashion, one that was sensual, Mediterranean, and deeply rooted in Italian culture, but with a modern, rebellious twist. Their first major public appearance came in 1985. They were chosen as one of 3 emerging brands to present at Milan Fashion Week's new talent showcase. They were so broke that they couldn't afford professional models, so they asked their friends to walk the runway. They even used a bedsheet that Stefano had brought from home as a stage curtain. They called their first collection Real Women, a nod to their celebration of authentic, confident femininity. Unfortunately, the show was not an immediate success. The collection didn't sell well, and they were left disheartened and on the verge of giving up. In fact, Domenico was so discouraged that he told his family's accountant to cancel their second fabric order. But fate had other plans. Just before the cancellation went through, Domenico's family offered to help them financially, giving them the lifeline they desperately needed. This act of faith renewed their determination. They decided to give it one more try. For their second collection, they found their signature style. They drew inspiration from classic Italian cinema and the sensual, strong women of Sicily. This time, their vision connected with the audience. The critics started to pay attention, and more importantly, so did the buyers. Their fourth collection was the one that truly put them on the map. It was heavily influenced by Domenico's Sicilian roots and featured what would become one of their most iconic pieces, the Sicilian dress. This form-fitting corset-style dress became a symbol of the brand's powerful and feminine aesthetic. Soon, the biggest names in fashion and entertainment were clamoring for their designs. Madonna was one of their earliest and most vocal supporters. In 1991, she wore a gem-encrusted corset and jacket from Dolce & Gabbana to a film premiere, creating a media frenzy. This was a massive turning point. Having one of the world's biggest pop stars endorse their brand catapulted them to international fame almost overnight. Their collaboration with Madonna continued. They famously designed over 1,500 costumes for her Girly Show World Tour in 1993, solidifying their status as designers for the stars. From there, their empire grew at an astonishing rate. They expanded from women's clothing into menswear, launching their first men's collection in 1990. They then ventured into perfumes, with their first fragrance, Dolce and Gabbana Pour Femme, winning an award for Best Female Fragrance in 1993. Over the years, they launched eyewear, handbags, watches, and even a line of high-end jewelry. They opened flagship stores in major cities around the world, from Milan and London to New York and Tokyo. What made them so successful? It was their unique ability to blend tradition with provocation. They took classic elements like the pinstripe suit, the black corset, and leopard print, and gave them a modern, sexy, and distinctly Italian edge. Their advertising campaigns, often shot in black and white by legendary photographers, were as famous as their clothes. They created a world, a lifestyle that was glamorous, passionate, and unapologetically bold. They weren't just selling clothes. They were selling a dream of la dolce vita, the sweet life. By the early 2000s, Stefano Gabbana, the boy from a working-class Milanese family, had become a global fashion icon and a billionaire. Along with Domenico Dolce, he had built a brand that was synonymous with Italian luxury and style. Their journey from a tiny one-room studio to a multi-billion-dollar empire is a powerful testament to their unwavering passion, creative genius, and the courage to pursue a dream, even when the odds are stacked against you. It's a story that proves that with a clear vision and relentless hard work, you can turn a simple bedsheet into a curtain for a global stage.